I had this major breakthrough some years back that kind of became a bit of a signature in my own coaching and sort of advisory stuff, which I was um, I was dealing with a really, really, really difficult project and some difficult clients who kept going kind of into this swirl. We were sort of bashing our head on a similar challenge, and I was throwing everything that I could at this toolkit at them to help this team get through. But it was tough, and they were just caught in this. Yeah, but oh, this is the problem. They were just
Mm,
what we would call being stuck in a pit. And at
mm,
the same time, I was my son was younger, and he kind of fell into the love of gaming, sort of computer gaming.
mm,
And I was watching him play the game because he was so excited. He was like, "Daddy, Daddy, watch this! I'm collecting the blah blah blah." And then he was like, he would get to this, in these games, these adventure games, you collect all these amulets and stuff, and they walk these pathways, and then they suddenly go through a portal, and then they're facing off against some giant creature, and they got to like use all these superpowers and then defeat the creature, and then blah, 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 the portal opens and they move on. And this insight came to me, which was every level has a new devil.
mhm,
Every level has a new devil. And I suddenly got this kind of reframe. How do you take a pain point and turn it into your superpower? And it goes back
mm,
to another question that you asked just now, which was, and I realized the breakthrough for the team was I walked into that next session with them, and I just started clapping. I was like, I'm so excited for you. Every level has a new devil. Did you know, team, that you're facing the end of this level? You're facing
mm,
the big boss, the big creature that you've got to use everything in your power, because as soon as you do this, you get to elevate as a team to your next level. This is your test. This is your
100%.
marker.
Yep.
And so that was massive. And so when you asked me earlier about folk that are suffering from things, I had a client recently at a session come up to me who said, "Hey, I've been diagnosed with being autistic," and we were working on personal leadership purpose in the room. And she says,
Mm,
but in personal purpose, we have a section where we say, okay, barriers and root causes that would stand in the way of you being able to live out your full version of your purpose. And she said, I always come back to the same thing. I have autism. And I'm not going to be able to achieve half the things. And I said, well, is that true? And then I said,
no.
what if your autism is your superpower, which means you have to find a pathway that is not conventional and that no one
Mm,
else has ever been on. And I just watched
mm,
this person light up. They hooked on that so hard, and they came back. I found these 7 strategies and this thing, because what was suddenly interesting is they were trying to compare themselves to everyone else, where you got to look at your unique situation and the things you're dealing with and say to yourself, what a gift. No one else in the world has this combination of ingredients to wrestle with. And if I
mm,
solve this, I get to elevate to the next level. So I know it's
for sure.
multiple things in there, but that's a couple of things that I wanted to share, which was this concept of every level has a new devil, and to
Mm,
go in and celebrate the pain as much as possible, because you suddenly rewire your neurology to look at hardship coming at you as
mm,
opportunity. Because we always,
mhm.
well, always is a big word. Often we will notice that human beings associate challenges with, oh my God, here we go again, or this is so bad. Whereas, whereas I think, to me, where I say the future is for the courageous, it's because if you can train your mind to look at something that's really tough coming at you, and you
Mm,
rub your hands together and you go, I am so excited. And now all the neurology in the body and the mind is saying, you are insane. Why on earth are you thinking about it this way? Why would you be getting excited? But it changes the game, because you go like, there's a pain point. Oh, this is the next level. This is the access
mm,
to the next level.
mm,
You suddenly completely start rewiring the creativity that enters your mind, the way you look at the world around you, how you start interacting with people, how you treat yourself. So there's something in that, which is, if you can make your pain and the suffering um, your opportunity, uh,
mm,
I've noticed the most remarkable things to happen. Again, it doesn't. I'm not saying I'm not acknowledging the traumas that people have
mm,
gone through, or the difficulties that people are suffering with.
mm,
The
mm,
more we let the suffering and the trauma win, the more we
mm.
stay stuck.